Hey guys, and welcome to my new as yet unnamed show all about Guild Wars 2 PvP. EU only! So my name is Brunners. As you can see, I've dressed up for the occasion of my first show, and how about we just jump straight into the action. There's a lot to cover today. So in the biggest general PvP news this week, we learned more information about the new mode Stronghold, thanks to a dev interview that was released via PC Gamer. Personally, I've gone from cautiously optimistic to ridiculously hyped based on this interview, because in all honesty, it really is sounding incredible. Basically, there'll be two lanes, an offensive one and a defensive one, and rather than just focusing on mechanical player skill, it sounds like it will much more heavily reward map awareness and tactical ability. This move of the focus away from mechanical skill and onto map awareness should help include more players in a high level of play, as there are viable, useful roles a player can fill even if they're not the best mechanically. Hugh Norfolk said, "Stronghold really allows you to have a more high-level overview of the map. We've seen people that aren't super mechanically inclined at their class provide huge benefit on the map because they're communicating with their team." Gameplay-wise, it sounds like there's going to be two lanes, an offensive one and a defensive one. The aim of the offensive lane is to hire creeps and attack the enemy stronghold, breaking through their gates and attacking their guild lord directly. It sounds like there'll be two different types of creeps, one that does huge damage to gates and the other which does huge damage to the guards. Now this should open up a number of different ways in how to play. Do you play aggressively, put all of your resources into your offensive lane and go full out for their guild lord, or do you play defensively, picking off the guards with the NPCs and defending your lane as hard as possible? Like I said, personally I'm really stoked for this, and I can't wait to hear even more information in the Ready Up on Friday. Now it's best we get talking about this week's PvP tournaments. We had a massive amount with 4 tournaments going on, including the WTS qualifiers. Firstly, we had Wednesday's ESL Monthly Cup, where the best 8 teams from the previous month battled it out for the chance at €1,000. We saw 55 HP monks pick up their second monthly in a row. It obviously wasn't easy for them, as they had to take out the Civilized Gentlemen in the semis and then Orange Logo in the final, but they came through both of those games 2-1 and took home the €1,000. They even had to come back from a game behind against Orange Logo before taking both Legacy and Kylo in relatively convincing fashion. This was the final time we'd see the full 55 HP monks roster until Sunday, as they had to replace both Misha and Zan for Saturday's WTS qualifier. However, this was a great final, and it'll be interesting to see whether 55 HP monks can three-peat next month. Phew, 1 down, 3 to go. Then, just a day later, we had the ESL Weekly Cup. Now, in fairness, this one was won relatively comfortably by Orange Logo, as they beat a very impressive Svanir Pushing Lord 2-0 in the final. In fairness, Svanir Pushing Lord came into that match with an experimental 3-engineer setup, and Orange Logo changed their comp to play 2 Shout Warriors to combat it. That shows you the quality that those guys have in reacting and adapting to their situation. In fairness to Svanir Pushing Lord, they did beat 55 HP monks 2-0 in the semis. They played incredibly well. 55 HP monks just did not play well at all. In hindsight, this was a preview of what was to come for 55 HP monks on Saturday. Oh yeah! Woo! Yeah! Whoa! It's time for the World Tournament Series! So this was the big one. We had Saturday's World Tournament Series qualifiers, in which the winner would be flown out to Boston and PAX East to compete in the World Tournament Series finals. Maybe disappointingly, EU only had 4 teams enter, with Orange Logo, 55 HP monks, the Civilized Gentlemen and various artists all throwing their hat in the ring. Sidebar, a serious well done to the various artists in this. They've played their hardest, they've turned up, they've competed, and although I don't think it's unfair of me to say that the skill level between them and the other teams is a bit of a gulf at the minute, with practice maybe we'll be talking about them for the WTS EU qualifiers. So I just wanted to throw that in there, that congratulations, keep on going, we always need more teams, and hopefully we'll see you out there again in ESL. So the tournament was double elimination, meaning each team had to lose twice to be officially sent home and out of contention for that plane trip to Boston. We had a thrilling afternoon with Orange Logo beating various artists before losing to TCG, which sent them into the losers bracket to face 55 HP monks who had lost to TCG and then beaten various artists. Orange Logo won that match, sending them into the grand finals against TCG and sending 55 HP monks home. Now, honestly, this was the final I was hoping for. Orange Logo comprised of ex-TCG members against TCG, who've rebuilt their team almost from scratch after the split, and man was it a great final. TCG took game 1 on Forest comfortably before they lost 4 games in a row and were sent crashing out of the tournament. Now, admittedly, they were hampered by a few connection issues. Helseth disconnected in game 3 of the grand final, although they were down 150 points at the time. Sizer then blue screened in game 1 of the extended final with TCG only down by 20 points, and in game 2 of the extended final Helseth managed to get himself stuck in the portal to his own base on Legacy, which forced a match restart in a match that TCG were currently winning by 50. Now this has taken nothing away from Orange Logo, who played extremely well to come back from 1-0 down and win this match, and they will be deservedly going off to represent EU at PAX East. And finally, on Sunday we had the Go 4 Weekly Cup. We saw the immediate return to action of both Orange Logo and 55 HP Monks back in their original lineup. There was one noticeable missing team, however, with TCG not signing up this week. As far as the tournament goes, we did have a healthy turnout of 12 teams, but the final did end up being Orange Logo versus 55 HP Monks. This of course wasn't an entirely unexpected turnout, with 55 HP Monks looking to prove that they were still the dominant team that will hopefully be going for a three-peat in February's multi-finals, while Orange Logo want to stay in top form as they practice for the WTS. Now, unfortunately for them, 55 HP Monks were forced into a roster change at the start of the finals, with George having to replace Karseb. This shuffled a number of their teammates around, and it led to some difficulties with synergy, and Orange Logo ended up running out 2-0 winners and taking home the €400. So that's it from me. I'll be back next time with more news and another recap of all the tournaments. So congratulations and good luck to Orange Logo in Boston. I will see you all next week.